Hello, everybody. This is Camille Frost. I am the Youth Protection Officer in the Youth Protection Office in the Office of Institutional Compliance. That's a lot. That was a lot of verbiage. I work with and make sure any minors that come on to the Texas Tech campus are safe and that the adults who are in charge of those minors have done what they're supposed to do to protect our youth. So, why do we have this requirement? This is actually a state requirement. The Texas Safe Campus Act was enacted and put into law for all higher ed universities in 2011. The state set the standards and require a training of all camp employees and a yearly background check. Texas Tech has adopted the Texas Tech System Regulation 0717 and the Texas Tech Operating Policy 4009. These are live links. You can click on these and go through what those system regulation and operating policies are. Basically, I'm going to go through the requirements of that system regulation and operating policy here in this quick overview and need for compliance. We'll talk a little bit about the campus carry, Senate Bill 11, and what you have to do if you're going to have minors on campus. And then this Texas Tech Operating Policy 1022 coincides with the campus carry. This link takes you to the exemption request if you're going to have minors on campus, because we don't want anybody carrying a gun around our babies. All right, minors on campus, how do we comply? There are two different ways to register your program. You both go to the same registration link, which is here, Minors on Campus. It takes you into our program called Ideal Logic. Ideal Logic is where you will register the program that you will be bringing minors for and any adults that will be working that. The two differences between exempt and non-exempt. Exempt means the youth are coming onto campus with an adult. They are either coming with a parent, a guardian, a teacher, or an administrator. All we need is to register that program. We don't need to do anything else, but know that these, excuse me, these minors are going to be coming onto campus. Non-exempt means Texas Tech will be taking over that care, custody, and control. So the non-exempt is where, just like I said, Texas Tech is going to be taking over that care, custody, and control. And that is where we have to focus a little more into the law and what those requirements are. For instance, making sure that any adults working with minors have a yearly background check that's on file and completed the child protection training. That is every 2 years. So once you complete that child protection training, that's good every 2 years, just like CPR is. These requirements, the background check and the training, need to be completed at least 2 weeks before the start of the program. Once they have completed that background check and the training, you will send a list to the Department of State Health Services, all of those adults that have completed the training and their background check. You will send it to DSHS and copy Minors on Campus. This needs to be done at least 2 weeks before the start of your camp or program. And then keep a copy of all training documentation for at least 2 years after the end of your camp. Okay, so registering program, you're going to go to the Minors on Campus compliance website. You need to have a Texas Tech email address to do this. You need to pick a program operator. A program operator is a Texas Tech staff member that can get your camp registered, your program registered, input everyone who is working the camp with their first name and last name. Anyone working the camp, they don't have to have a Texas Tech email address. Preferably use their Texas Tech email address if they have one. But if they do not, that is not a requirement. It's only for the program operator, as outlined in the system regulation. On the right-hand side of the screen, you'll find the resources list, and you'll scroll down to additional forms and information. This is where you'll click on New Camp Registration Platform. I do have a walkthrough, a step-by-step walkthrough of signing into that Ideal Logic program for minors and your registration how-to. You can click on that. It'll walk you through step by step. You can also at any time email me, and I will have all that in the email at the end. Fill out all required information and hit the submit button at the bottom of the screen. This is in your registration for Ideal Logic. Once you start to register a session, it will save whatever you've started. You don't need to go in and start a new session if you didn't complete it the first time, okay? If you have any questions during the process, again, call or email either minorsoncampus@ttu.edu or my email that I'll have at the end of this. The child protection training. The child protection training is a state requirement, but we offer it for free to anyone who is working a program on the Texas Tech campus. We offer it free. If there is an approved program that they would rather, or they have taken it from someplace else, you are welcome to use any approved program by clicking on this link. Any non-Texas Tech employees, they can still take the training for free. We offer it. All you need to do is input their first name, last name, and email address into Ideal Logic. I do offer in-person trainings to complete this requirement. It is a 1-hour program with a 25-question exam. If you have someone that brings in a certificate from another location, because it is valid for 2 years, there must be a state-approved ID number that looks like this. It needs to have a YC number in front of it. Again, certificates will need to be documented on the DSHS form and Ideal Logic. Any non-TTU child abuse training program must include the Texas Youth Camp State Approval Number, which starts with YC. You'll fill out and submit that form via email to this email address and to Minors on Campus. Campus carry. If you are going to be hosting minors on the Texas Tech campus, we need to make sure that people going past the point where minors are, they are not allowed to carry any weapons. As a program operator, it is your responsibility to request an exclusion zone exemption using OP 1022A. Again, please contact me with any questions. Here is my name, my phone number, my cell phone number, and my email address with any questions. If at any point during your camper program you have any issues, immediately Notify TTUPD, emergency 911, or non-emergency if it's police. Non-emergency, and you just need to consult or have some questions, and it's not necessarily a major emergency. Again, if you have any questions, I am here and happy to answer anything you may have.